historically, we are the debris, forgotten faces, never more to be. Instead of legends fighting for something that had no guarantees, living ghosts we chose to live and die as their worker bees. Why didn't we break out from their hide? Why didn't we follow our own sun to another life? Why didn't we scroll over all their flowers? Brothers and sisters, it's okay to be free. Brothers and sisters, it's time to be free.
Well, let's fuck that off since it's obviously not working. There's was that freezing for you? Was freezing for me. Okay, we're going to have a big show. I'm bringing in the other half of Cafe Lockdown, which is, of course, Robin and all her shows. And
Hello.
how you doing? So Robin and I, most of you probably know, but Robin and I have been working together without actually working together for what, 3 years now, 3.5? Just
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to think about it.
Blur of censorship.
Yeah.
There. And so the reason we're coming on is we've done a few things like we did the 24-hour marathon for free speech, which was we got Robin over to Melbourne. That was a wild ride. And yeah, that was a lot of fun actually, Robin.
Yeah, no, it was very good.
Yeah. And then Robin approached us recently because we're going up to digital ID with the suggestion of a 40-hour one, like a 40-hour marathon. Well, why don't you share the idea, Robin?
Yeah, well, it was just it was kind of annoying me that particularly watching countries like Britain who are having none of it, just seeing real lack of energy behind pushing back at all. And so yeah, I just remembered being a kid and thinking about the 40-hour famine, helping the kiddies, and people supported that for many, many years. I don't know how long that ran for, but yeah, I just thought, well, how about we have a digital protest and make it a 40-hour Meta famine, because Meta is the first to obey Julian Mann Grant's requests to censor Australians online. So yeah, and stream it on X and Rumble and not Meta.
Have you seen that on Instagram? I've seen a few things, and you got to watch it, and then this thing comes up and says, log on to prove that you're over 16 to watch this. So Instagram is already practicing. And so I think it'd be interesting to see if they kick us off tonight. I actually think it's really valid. So it'll be done in probably four different blocks, because you can't do 40 hours straight. So I think it's about 10 hours straight, or maybe 9 hours straight. So we'll do it that way. But when did we decide to start? Do you remember? So it's the dates are the 14th, 15th, and 16th of November.
Yes. So it was at 1:00, 1 p.m. Friday afternoon, Melbourne time.
Melbourne time. Yeah.
and
Yeah,
then
that's right.
finish on Sunday night, 9 p.m. Sunday night.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've got Malik, and we're reaching out to we've got quite a few guests already. The Johnny Lada, Hoodie might join up, the White Rabbit, and others, because we're going to have lots of people, especially people that aren't podcasters as well. Because not only do we
Yeah.
want to raise awareness to digital ID, but we want to do a celebration that goes out to the world. There's a lot of Canadians coming on too. A celebration that goes out to the world that it could be the last hurrah for the Australian larrikin, because we're going to be larrikins. We're going to have 40 hours of saying whatever the hell we want to say, and because that might be coming to an end. So yeah, we've got a poster here, but we're going to do another one. In fact, if anybody out there wants to come up with a better poster than this, so we got this. It's just pictures of the 70s and stuff, which none of them are real. It's all AI, would you believe? But on the Hills Hoist, and it's amazing how they did it. And so, yeah. What else will we need? We're coming to Perth, so that Robin and I will be together somewhere to do it. So we're not sure of the venue yet, but there might be a venue in Perth. It'd be great if it's live and a few beds so people can sit and hang around and make it a really wild 3-day party, man. I think that's what we should do.
People have been asking me about the venue, and there's been a few suggestions thrown around here amongst the Perth people, and I've said, look, you've got to consider the logistics of doing a 40-hour stream, because, as you know, Michael, when you stream for 24 hours, it's not just a matter of sitting somewhere and having a computer in front of you. You need lots of space to do a variety of things, and that includes being able to sleep. So yeah, it would be fantastic to do it at all these wonderful venues that have supported the freedom movement over the years, but just logistically, it wouldn't work, and we'd all be
Mm,
incredibly uncomfortable for at
mm.
least 40 hours. And I think it would age me a number of years if I made myself do that.
If I look any older, I will look like a zombie. So there's so yeah. But look, the reason I'm excited by it is I don't know if we can pull it off. That's 40 hours of content
Yeah,
with
it's a lot.
no green screens, no crossovers to any AI stuff, or this is just people talking shit for
Yep,
40 hours.
yep,
You know.
yep, yep.
Yeah, so we don't know if we can pull it off. So maybe you want to watch to see if you can pull it off, because no one's ever going to do the 40 hours. And the reason, see, we learned lessons because the last time we had 20,000 people watching us live at the end, but we lost
Mhm,
it because we did 24 hours straight, but all of the platforms only recorded 10 hours. So we lost
mhm.
14 hours of really, so there was some excellent stuff on there. Not that I can
Yep.
remember it, but there was some excellent stuff on there, and it's all gone, you know?
Mhm.
So
Yep.
yeah, so we're reaching out. If you know anybody, contacts anyone you think like, come on, we're reaching out. It's just
Mhm.
to celebrate. You don't even have to be about the freedom movement. Just like I'm reaching out to Sam Newman. I think he'd be
Mhm.
great to get on. He's a real larrikin,
Yep.
and other things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a, former prison guard, female prison guard, that's going to come on here in Western Australia. Her story is astounding. So like you said a few minutes ago, it doesn't have to be podcasters. People
No.
with she's a very courageous woman. What she's doing at the moment, so I'm really looking forward to her telling her story. Actually,
Yeah, great.
on the
And larrikins. We want
mhm,
larrikins. If you,
mhm,
because your voice is being suppressed. You know,
yep.
they're trying to. I was at a market the other day, and I swear all the men spiritually felt like they once were stallions, and now they're just ponies at a children's fairground ride.
Mm,
They've just got that,
yep.
you know.
Uh,
And it's just, yeah. There's no striding. There's no this. There's no striding around going, "Hey, I'm not going to say anything sexual, but look at me, baby." There's none of that. There's just like,
Mhm.
you know,
Yep.
and I think it's really sad. I think it's sad for women. I think women like to have a man with a bit of a stride to his step, even though they don't do anything. It's just fun.
Mhm.
But maybe I'm
Yep.
old fashioned. Maybe I'm old
No, I
fashioned.
think I saw something on X. It was either today or yesterday. Somebody had put up a video. We need the strong men back on the streets, and I think it was a reference, if I'm not mistaken, a reference to um, Australians, particularly women, feeling safer on the street because you've got the big burly guys there, and it was also along the lines of, if nothing else, and they can't protect us, at least there's good-looking fellas on the street again. Which.
Yeah. So the 40 hours, it's about 40, it's a 40-hour celebration of free speech, Bronwyn, before the digital ID comes in, because anybody who thinks once they have digital ID that they're not going to get to crushing us and silencing us, yeah, then you actually want it to happen, you know?
Mm.
It's so that's what it's about. Um, when you have a large prostate, you have a 40-hour stream all the time. You're coming on, Jason. We're booking you in, buddy. Robin and I are doing the first hour, and the last hour you're doing 38 hours in between. There's
Yep.
yeah. My eyes will be swimming. That's it. Rockin' Sydney. Thanks, man. And hey, Willow, maybe we should get you on, Willow, with the blue bee. Anyway, so we're going on. So this is it. Yeah, that's right. Stallions have been gelded. So, but this is
Yes.
right, and we want to make it fun. I think the more fun we can make it, the more people will be watching. And what we want is E. Karen to try get us shut down, and hopefully Elon will tell her to go jump. And
Mm.
so that's what we're hoping. I've reached out to Rumble. They said as long as you don't break their guidelines, and I have no idea what their guidelines are, but
Mm.
you can't get banned from there. I mean, I've had one warning from in 5 years from Rumble, but you've had stuff taken down, haven't you? From Rumble?
I've had my stream cut. I think it was 2 minutes, something or other seconds. That was just a couple of weeks ago, actually. They stopped one. I've forgotten who I was interviewing now. But I think that's
Rumble.
probably about it. Yeah, Rumble. Yeah. Um, I think there was something else a long time ago, but generally Rumble, isn't one of the platforms that we worry about with censoring us. It's
No, but it's
the
been
other
getting
one.
quieter, we noticed on Rumble. It's not as popular as it once was. I've heard there's a lot of ads on there. Um, but
Yeah,
but
that's
that's what we're doing. And the other thing too, and this is why I love this idea of Robin's, is the other thing too is it's like a call out to the world.
Mhm,
Basically, we're letting the world see that not all Australians are compliant sheep. There
mhm.
actually is. There actually is a core of larrikins still around. Yeah.
I think
So
it'd be
that's it.
interesting too, getting people from different countries around the world, and we'll be able to
Yeah.
ask them, what's the situation there with digital ID,
Yeah.
with censorship? What are the reasons that they're telling you that they're introducing this, cr- when really we know it's something else. But each country seems to be making up their own reasons. For Australia, it's the children. For the UK, they're saying it's the immigrants. It'd be good to hear from people in Canada, so on and so forth. And yeah, just get it all get it all together in one block, one 10-hour slot, and hear from everyone
Yeah.
around the world. You
Yeah,
know.
5 times August. Rock and Sydney
Mhm.
here saying Paul Quelly and Angry Anderson.
Mm,
So yeah, I think that, but it's just basically, I think if we make it, no one knows what's coming next. It's like, hey, it's Saturday, but they weren't rallying against anything because we were in a different country. Then it was just fun. Where now it's actually very serious, you know, and
mm,
so yeah, so that's. No ads during the lives on Rumble, only on replaying. Oh, thanks,
uh-huh.
Valerie. I didn't realize that. Yeah, cool.
That's
Um,
good.
so anyway, that's what we're doing there, and we'll keep you posted. Like I said, that's the poster, but we don't know how to make the poster. As we get more people coming on, we'll do another
Mhm.
poster. Um, but coming on from there, now
Mhm.
the next thing is we had closed social set up when I was going around Australia with Cret and Wendy. We were having so much censorship, it was ridiculous. And
Yep.
so I said to Steve, then, who was a web designer guy, could we build our own Facebook? Thinking he'd say no, and he got back to me and he did, and he built Closed Social. And
Mm.
unfortunately, oh, Tina Arena, she's on our side. That could be a thing.
Yeah.
Um, unfortunate, I might write that down.
Also that,
Uh,
chick from Neighbours, what's her name?
yeah,
Holly Valance, she's one of us.
any of them. That'd be great. But having a mix with ordinary people and famous people would be terrific, you know.
Mm.
And anyway, we built Close Social, and it went up to about 5,000 people really quickly. My son was actually managing it then. But then for some reason, it just didn't work. A few
Yeah.
people went there, but it just didn't work. People didn't comment, so it just sat there. And eventually, I wasn't ever going there. Like once every 6-7 months, I'd go there, if that. So I just never went there. And
Yeah.
so, oh, did I put something up here? Yeah, so it never went there. So it was really, and I'd forgotten about it. I was just thinking I was going to shut it down. And isn't Paul Hogan dead, Ron?
Oh,
Um,
hey,
is he dead?
did he die?
I don't know. Oh, reach out to him. Why not? That'd be great. There's and so now Kevin, who's been doing a great job on the website. It's amazing what he's doing. And he's 71. I mean, most 71-year-olds go, I don't have an email. What is this thing? You know, he's actually making it. And then he suggested he set up a social site that was easy to use and cheaper to run, because Closed Social was very expensive to have up and we couldn't afford it. So he's built Fort Clo, which is
Mhm.
there.
Mhm.
And the link to join it is here. I'll leave that up for a bit. So that's there. It's still free and the same, and you can actually interact with Kevin. He's up for suggestions of what you want, and so what we're actually building is we need our own. I think Facebook the is just a huge monolith. Everyone's on there,
Mm.
but I think it's really nice to have little online villages. So
Mhm.
Fort Clo is like a little online village. You know, we'll try to keep the trolls out, but that's what it actually is. And yeah, so I think that's going there onto there and see what you want and chat and stuff like this. And Kevin's got ideas for it, but it's absolutely free to join. And
Mhm.
an email has gone out to everyone was there. But you know, with everything that's coming, maybe people will want to get away from Facebook. So I don't know. Do you have, before we move up to the major thing, do you have any updates on digital ID, Robin?
Well, we've got the, is it $14 million from memory? Don't hold me to that. The ad campaign that they're just releasing, and we saw the first ad the other day talking about for the
No, I
good
haven't seen
of.
that.
It's ridiculous. But with now today, I've just seen a video, and it's a 5-minute video that Julian Grant appears in, and it reminds me of, if anybody watches or knows of the program Behind the News. It's
Yeah.
a children's program that essentially is filled with propaganda, which children watch at school and then do activities and see how much of the brain rot has continued to infect their brain. But anyway, this 5-minute piece with Julie in it, it reminds me of one of those BTN pieces. It's got the cheesy 80s music to kind of, and the ding, 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 the kind of childish, music. She's leaning on the table, like she's down there at the kids' levels talking to them. This kind of,
Have you got it? Why don't we just play it?
it's on X, yeah. So that's the most recent one. I've got it in my bookmarks. Where is it? There it is. Can I screen the share from
Yeah,
here?
you should be able to.
It's so cringe, and even there's so many holes in it that I'm sure even the kids that will watch this will be able to poke holes in this video. So I'll just screen the share, everybody, to my X page. But
Thanks,
oh
Jenny.
gosh,
I think that's Jenny, yeah.
I actually couldn't sit through all of it because it was just
There you go.
awful to watch. All right, here we go. Oh Lord, I'm sorry, everybody.
Why are you banning social media for under 16s?
How will completely
God.
banning social media fix the problem?
First, what I'd like to say is it's not a ban. It's the delay to having accounts. The likelihood of you being exposed to pressures and risks that are much greater when logged into an account.
Hear the
And
music?
so by delaying access to holding a social media account until you're 16, we can spend that time building your digital literacy, critical reasoning skills, but also your impulse control skills.
What platforms will be banned?
How are you gonna choose those apps and make sure those apps are the correct apps to choose for the ban?
The list of platforms that are covered is going to change over time.
Please welcome the Prime Minister.
Well, thanks very much, Annika.
The Prime Minister and the Minister of Communications already named some of the major ones. These are YouTube, although YouTube Kids and Google Classroom will not be included. Facebook will be included, Instagram, TikTok, X, and Snapchat. Just to be clear, you'll still be able to access the content on YouTube and other platforms in a logged out account. You just will not be able to have or hold your own account.
All right, I'm going to pause it there. Please explain to me, Michael, how that protects kids. She's just said you can still access the content in a logged out state. You just won't be able to create your own account. How does that protect kids? Hey?
I don't know. That just didn't make a lick of sense. So
No.
they're the whole thing is about stopping kids seeing content that kids shouldn't see. But now they're going to be able to see it. They're just not going to have a YouTube account.
Yeah.
So they're still.
Isn't that ridiculous? I mean, at least when you're talking about child safety, right? Because one of my guilty pleasures is watching true crime shows, right?
Yeah.
And
Me too. Yeah.
watching those, you can see that solving, especially nowadays, many of the key factors in solving these cases is being able to um, use people's devices to see what platforms they were accessing, who they were talking to, all those sorts of things. And okay, we can have an argument about breach of privacy or this sort of thing, but the fact of the matter is it's a very useful tool in solving crimes. Will this impact the police's ability to solve crimes because they can't identify which missing children are talking to which creepy adults online, And then, like I said, when I first got whiff of this all those months ago, you have all those creepy people online who, commit crimes against children. What are they going to do? Part of their defense in court will be, well, everyone that's online is supposed to be over 16, so I didn't know they were 12 and I was doing anything wrong. So will this become part of creepy people's defense in court? There's all sorts of things that we just don't know.
Yeah, it's. I'm trying to do things about it, but it's just it's insane. The best comment I had was from Richard Wollstonecroft today, and Richard Wollstonecroft actually said, "What did he say?" He said, "Are we going to have to have facial recognition just to access the internet. And he said, "Oh, fuck that! I'm not doing the internet. Fuck that! It's not going to work." So, he's on there. He's doing his, and I don't think a lot of people realize that the government would actually try do this.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
it's I don't, Jan. I'm pretty sure Kamal wouldn't come on. I'm just guessing. I'm just taking a wild stab in the dark. No offense, Kamal,
Probably a no.
but I'm pretty sure he'd be a no. He just says no, and
Well, and also, having to verify your age to use the Google browser or Microsoft. I mean, even Google Maps. They've really kept that one quiet. They've mentioned it a couple of times in corporate media, but I don't think,
Google
it's
Maps.
been talked about enough where people go, "Oh, why would they do that?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
what if the kid gets lost in the bush and he wants to find his way out and he can't because he's under 16? Can't
Bad luck.
access Google Maps. It only makes sense when you see it as a way to introduce digital ID across the board. Exactly, Ben Clifton.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yep. They'll be done, Zeusy. They'll be done. Good thing we still have a real map. Well, most people don't, Chris. You actually have to. We wanted to find a map of Australia. Very difficult to find maps nowadays. Really, really hard. People don't use them. That's
Yeah.
you're showing your age there, Chris. So that's where we're at. I met up with Topher. Topher's off the belief that because they're going up against Elon and Trump, that they don't think they'll stand a chance to get it through. They think it's just going to fall over. But anyway, should we watch the end of it just to? Is it just
Really want
me,
to.
or I just feel like I have a small vomit in my mouth when Albanese gets on? It's hard enough trying to breathe with this woman.
See how she's leaning down on the table talking to them like she's on their level? It's so cringe. Just terrible.
How is the age verification going to work when you first download social media platforms?
What technology will they be using to verify age other than face recognition?
How do we know kids aren't going to find ways around this?
For example, I could get one of my older siblings to create an alternate
It is
account and
BTN.
give it to me.
Platforms are not required to use specific technologies to verify age. Instead, we are encouraging them to improve on the systems they already have. No solution is likely to be 100% effective 100% of the time. However, we'll expect age-restricted platforms to act on indicators that an account holder may be underage, looking at things like your language and your syntax, your use of acronyms and emojis. 13-year-olds generally speak to other 13-year-olds. They can see if you're logging in before or after school. A lot of details like that.
If you get caught, what would be the punishment?
There are no penalties for under 16s who access age-restricted social media platform or for their parents or carers. This is about putting the onus on platforms, not the people who use them. Age-restricted social media platforms may face penalties if they don't take reasonable steps to prevent under 16s from having accounts on their platforms. And this can be a pretty hefty fine in the order of $49.5 million.
How will they keep all of our private information safe?
Australia has robust privacy protections that platforms must follow. In fact, when all of these age assurance technologies were tested, they were not only tested for robustness and efficacy, they were also tested to be privacy preserving.
The platform,
generally speaking, these protections.
Mm-hmm.
The platform is going to be charged like $1 million a day or some crazy fine, but the kids who access it are going to face no penalty whatsoever.
Yeah,
that's not really fair on the platforms because.
Well, and yeah, it's this is ridiculous. I mean,
think of it. How can they possibly do that? How can you? There's no way. I mean, let's admit this is computers. These kids have grown up in the computer world. To them, it's like another limb, And when I was, I remember they brought iPads into my kids' school when we were in primary school, and a lot of the teachers, but all the mothers and fathers were against it, or a good majority. And a lot of them were lawyers and barristers, but they couldn't stop it. They just brought it in, and they said they've got safeguards, so the kids, there's no way they can get past them. And my son got up on in stage, and in 20 seconds, he'd got past all their things. He could do whatever he wanted on it. And they just did silent, went away. But all the kids could do it. He was just the one that showed them. So they have this sense of belief in their own power and authority, but the kids are going to be running around it. Like, I hear they're already setting up ways to get around it now. They're working on it now, you know?
You know, they're just like that kid said there, you know, my big brother, my older sibling will, you know, create an account for me. You know, you can bet your bottom dollar as well. There'll be a good number of parents who go, hey, you can just use my account, because let's not forget that, you know, devices are babysitters at times. So you can guarantee some parents are just going to go, use my account, do whatever you want. You know, I'm not going to
Well,
get
how
in
about
trouble. You're
this?
not going to get in trouble. You know, who
Yeah.
cares?
Or your dad's asleep, or your mum's asleep on the couch, like, and the kid just comes up and goes and does facial recognition, and then you go, the police are at the door going, you let your 16-year-old, you let your 15-year-old kid do this. You're going, what? You know, it's I know anyone who's had kids, even if you change your password and don't let them see it, they're watching constantly. The next minute they got your phone, they've got past it. I mean, let's be honest, because we'd be the same. You know what I mean? You're almost setting them a challenge. Chances are the only ones who are not going to be able to get on is old farts like me who can't figure it out. We're going to be asking the kids, how do you get around this shit? You know?
Yep, that's all right. That's all right.
And is it true, though, that we're going to have to verify ourselves every single time we want to get onto the internet? Like turning up at a bouncer's door?
Well, that's what they're saying with Google and Microsoft. And it's interesting in that video that they show footage of children taking must be high school students taking photos of themselves to verify their age at school, because that's one of my questions. You know, I know certainly at a number of schools up here where I used to work, you know, they used to use, or they use YouTube. You know, they use Roblox. They use lots of things.
YouTube is
And
the greatest learning tool out there.
so, you know, are they going to send home a letter to the parents and say, do you give permission for your child to use whatever age assurance technology it is on whatever app it might be?
Yeah.
You know, does the parent consent to the children doing that? I bet you there'll be no letters going home to parents seeking permission for their children's photo to be and data to be taken by these platforms.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. I'm
that's
just going to bring up
concern.
Steve. As mentioned, doesn't have to make sense. It just has to add to the litany of excuses for accepting digital ID. Exactly, Steve. This is it. They don't care. And unfortunately, we've got so many Australians who don't care either. I mean, look at Richard. Richard is absolutely on our side, and he's even unaware. He says, when's it coming in? I said, about 40 days, mate. So I think there's going to be a lot of Australians who wake up one morning, they're going, what? Why can't I get on? And they don't even aware. You know?
And they'll just go, oh, okay, yeah, take my photo, whatever. You know, and people will just do it because they're just like, they don't put two and two together. And that's one of the things I think that the government is relying on, you know, and why there's been such a lack of information, very little publicity actually about this world-leading social media delay, you know, is because one of their tactics is, you know, the least amount of information that you can give to the public, the lesser pushback you're going to get from the general public. And I think that's what's happened over the past few months, is that don't tell them anything and then they won't push back.
Yeah. I don't think if you told them everything, Australia, I don't think there's a lot of Australians who push back anyway, no matter what you said. But what about when they say safety, though? I mean, Albanese got hacked. His phone number is out there. You know, the frequent flyer
I heard
points.
he's on Craigslist.
I heard he was on Grindr. But the thing is, it's so clear what they're doing, and
Yeah.
it's so clear what they're doing. But I did a thing the other day, a little rant, where I said, they're even doing facial recognition now, and this is what you said. So I said, when did we agree that they can use facial recognition, that they can use our data to monitor us now, because we haven't given consent and they're doing it, so obviously it's illegal. But you said Bunnings and Woolworths had already been up on charges because of that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That was it after the mandates? It was revealed that Kmart and Bunnings, Woolworths were using AI technology and surveillance to surveil their customers. And they were found to be in breach of people's privacy and so on and so forth. Because not only, of course, they're not asking for customers' permission, but also there was no signage alerting people to the fact they were doing it. And then there was this thing, where I think it was Kmart started putting signs at the door as you walk in, you are being monitored, you are being surveilled, all this sort of stuff, blah, blah, blah. But they've been trying it on, these multinational companies, for a little bit here in Australia, whether they have your permission or not.
My dad's 87. He doesn't even have an email. And he said that makes for all sorts of problems. Everyone calls up, we'll email it to you. He goes, I don't have an email. And they're like, what? And so there's no way that he's ever had his face scanned. He just wouldn't do it. And yet, so if facial recognition works on him, then how have they got that without his permission? Because he certainly wouldn't have given them his permission or anything, knowing him. And my mother hardly leaves the house. So how have they got her? This is the really interesting thing, that they've done it already. It's almost like with digital ID, they're trying to legitimize what they've already done illegally. Love your shirt, by the way. Kelly just pointed it out.
Yeah, it's one of my work shirts. I had some shirts embroidered with my logo, so I dug it out of the wardrobe today.
Yeah, looks good. Looks good. There's okay. Shall we watch the end of it just to see if we can get through it without
You're
vomiting?
a sucker for punishment, Michael.
Well, it's really interesting, because it's actually, I find it annoying that I just don't see the outrage here that I'm seeing in the UK. In the UK, everyone's coming out going, not doing it, not doing it, not doing it. But here, everyone's just, like, so what? Let's watch the end, and then we'll get on to the next.
Place limitations on the use of private information that has been collected by platforms to assess age restrictions, and it requires that they destroy the information following its use.
What if they have close friends only online, and that's the only way of
I'm only allowed to do remove. Can you put it back on the screen?
Yeah, it's not showing me any other layout. It's only got 5 layouts there. Where do the rest of them go? It's weird.
Let's see.
We can just make it that. Yeah.
Young creators who dream to become a full-time content creator.
We know that for so many young people, they feel more themselves online than they do in the real world. The social media and the online world has helped you find your tribe. But it's important to remember that there still are online gaming platforms and messaging apps such as WhatsApp or iMessage that aren't affected, so you can still use them. So what I would recommend is that you actually get together and start setting up your group WhatsApp. So when this comes live on December 10th, as we're all getting ready to head up for the summer holidays, you'll still be able to be in touch with your mates. If you're an influencer, perhaps you want to set up a website.
Will social media accounts be deactivated?
Social media platforms will have to remove or deactivate your account on December 10th. We don't expect that will magically happen overnight, but it should happen over a short period of time. But we've also recommended that they offer you the option to deactivate your own account. which means that there may be an option to reactivate your account once you turn 16. That means you can reserve your handle and possibly store your memories and photos.
Why can't TikTok just create a teen TikTok and an adult TikTok?
I think that's a good idea, and we are talking to some of the platforms about that. Now, there's nothing stopping technology companies from offering services like this that are age appropriate. It would have to be completely separate, and we would have to assess it separately. It's not that easy to create another site. It's possible, and of course, we're talking about the biggest, richest companies in the world. And it may very well be that they are dedicated to keeping under 16s on their platform in some way, shape, or form.
Will the restrictions and apps be changed over the time?
Will this last forever, or will this just be a temporary one?
They're permanent, I'm afraid, and there will be a legislative review in the next 2 years to see how it's going. But I think the good news is that your age isn't. So believe us when we tell you that 16 will come around pretty quickly. And in the meantime, we'll be standing alongside you, your parents and your teachers, to make sure that you're ready. And also in the meantime, hope you're having a great time hanging out with your mates, going to the beach, I don't know, kicking the footy, getting 8 hours of sleep, and doing all the healthy, fun things that your parents used to probably talk to you about back in the day.
Well.
God,
Oh,
she's
God.
just... Wow. It takes condescension to a whole new level. She's like a Sith Lord condescending cow, when he's just up here. It'd be interesting to have a few 15-year-olds. Wow.
It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. Terrible.
That is actually aimed at us, not at the kids. That's aimed at adults going, yeah, that sounds like a good idea, whoever you are, you American woman. Yeah, I don't know who you are, but that sounds like a good idea. Get them back on the beach, and get them out. Even though somebody said here, I think someone, Kelly or someone said, we gave them the devices. We got them addicted. And now we're going, oh, you got to, yeah. Amazing.
Yep. Well, even the way she pronounces footy annoyed me. She can't even pronounce that correctly.
Now, the other thing too, before we go on to the other thing about the affiliates, you played something last night after I finished with Lee, and I was thinking, who's live now? And it was the old guy with the beard. What's his name? Morley. And he was. Is it Robert Morley or
Malone?
Malone. He was
Malone.
amazing.
Oh God, don't get me started on that. It frustrated me to no end. I was effing and blinding and all sorts. I'm not a fan of Dr. Asim Malhotra. Even go along to my Rumble channel and watch the episode I did a couple of months ago now about Asim. Robert Malone, I'm on the fence about, but it's becoming abundantly clear who the people are that are speaking with a forked tongue. And I'll tell you what, these two people, have a platform. I've got to stop talking about it because I'm getting so worked up. They have a platform where they can actually say the old Britney Spears is injuring people, hello YouTube, and killing people, and they don't use their platform like they should, and it just riles me up to no end, to have them say on one hand, oh, it seems like this, and then on the other hand praising it. I'm done with that. They want me to engage with mental gymnastics. I'm not going to do it. It's revolting.
Wow,
It's
that reminds
insulting.
me. Yeah,
So,
that reminds me. You had Michael Ginsberg on, and he shared an article the other day. I think it was him that shared it on Substack, and it was profoundly interesting because he was talking about the dancing nurses And that's exactly what they said. He reckons, whoever wrote it reckons it was a test to see whether people could hold two realities at once. So in one reality, the hospitals are over full, the staff are run ragged, and on the other hand, there they are dancing with well choreographed dancers in empty hospitals. So you watch both at the same time. You're really upset that the hospital is overcrowded and those anti-vaxxers are going to do this. Oh, aren't they cool as they're dancing? And you're unable to put them together, go, each cancels the other out. And it's to see whether you could do that. I thought that was, because that's 1984, isn't it? That's like the chocolate ration. The chocolate ration is going down, and then Winston types the chocolate ration's gone up. And everyone's, hey, it's gone up, where everybody knows it's gone down. That's what that is. I thought that was, it's just a theory, but I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah. Oh, it's the same with Dr. Pierre Corey. He was on Redacted, and I did another show about this, and they were talking about the uptick in young people suffering with strokes. And I was absolutely horrified to hear from Dr. Pierre Corey that young people suffering strokes had actually had an uptick long before COVID, and it's actually not related. And I'm sorry, but no, I'm not playing those games anymore. You've spoken to too many people. I've spoken to too many people. It's insulting, and these people and families that are suffering and will suffer for the rest of their lives and future generations, as we know, with the infertility,
100%.
so on and so forth. It's insulting, and I'm not having it anymore. And so I got so worked up last night. I had to actually go away because I was so upset. Yeah, and actually,
is that why you asked me to take it down this morning?
Yeah, I've made a
I wondered
decision
why.
to not cover items like that anymore, because clearly I can't keep my mouth shut. And it's not good for my soul. I've got so worked up. It's not good for me. So I'm just not going to cover things like that anymore. When I can identify bullshit like that, they can sit in it, and I'm just going to walk away from it because I'm just not having it anymore.
Well, I
It's
think the
bullshit.
interesting thing is that they every time we see things like this, it just reinforces the fact that no one's coming to save us.
Yeah.
We're on our own. That's
Yes,
it.
we are.
There's no one. These guys are actually like, I remember that woman on Redacted said, "Oh, I've heard you take the third booster. It helps reduce the chance of strokes." That's what she said on Redacted. That's what she said.
Was with,
yeah.
Yeah,
So the first two give you the strokes, but the third one can alleviate it. How about you don't take any, then you have no fucking strokes? That's an idea. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. But that's anyway. So that's a good thing that no one's coming to save us is what it is. Now, I posted something the other night on Substack or somewhere around. And it was old. It was from the Shrine. So it was called The Birth of Cafe Lockdown. So I was doing Cafe Lockdown then a few weeks before, but hardly anyone was watching. It was just me and whoever I could get. But it really started at the Shrine, where Damien and I came together and did the first, where it really found its stride. And I put it on there, and I was going to talk about something. Oh yeah. Now at that time, it was really dark, and we were getting donations in to keep us going, because I think people, that was it. We didn't know what we were doing. There was no business plan. It was all organic. The whole thing, going to Epic, organic, going around Australia, organic, no business plan, no plan of any kind. Just let's keep going until we run out of money or people stop watching us. We managed just to get through it. And we sort of been going that, and every podcast in Australia, and I think in the world, but especially in Australia, is figuring out how to keep going and doing what we're doing. Because first off, Robin, tell them, how much work do you put in to your podcasts a week? Not just doing the podcast, but you take a lot more time preparing the podcast than me. How much time do you put into it?
So I think it's probably easier if I just talk about one episode. So whether it's an episode of Rise or an episode of Relentless, you're talking about contacting people. If it's Relentless, Rise, I've got to do a lot of research goes into each episode of Rise, believe it or not. You know, all the things I have to do on the computer, doing the actual show, then post-production, then all of the things to, you know, make short form videos, you know, lots and lots of stuff. So for each episode, you're looking at about anywhere between 5 to 8 hours work, depending on how much time I've got to put into it, for each episode. So it's more than a full-time job. And I actually have to make myself stop, because otherwise I would be at it 24 hours, 7 days a week, because we always want to improve, Michael, and you know what I'm talking about. We always want to try to make it better. And particularly with Rise, because I do so much research about, you know, because each episode of Rise has a theme, you know, that can really consume a lot of my time. So yeah, anywhere from 5 to 8 hours for each episode. So it's an extraordinary amount of work. Yeah.
And I was talking to Jason Olborn, who's been the latest podcaster to join us. He goes from 6 to 6:30, and he does Sunday mornings as well. He said exactly the same. Huge amount of work, 3-4 hours per show, easy. And so it's all that. Now, what's this? Now, but this is our dilemma as we're moving forward. We want to keep doing what we're doing, and people tell us all the time. All we ever get, I don't know about your inbox, but people say, "Don't stop. I love what you're doing. Keep going, keep going." And so we've got to find a way to keep going. And I think we're more than just entertainment for a minority. I think we're one of the little town squares of this movement that we have, you know, and they have the Hoodies of Town Square, Guru's of Town Square. This, you know, there's Nicola Charles. Cafe Lockdown just has a community, is that. So we're this community, and we're all in this together. I mean, it's not like we don't know any of you guys. I mean, Jane here, Chris, Kelly, Jan Murphy, if she's on, Earl in Texas.
Jane.
We're actually becoming a community more than just. It's like if you were watching Channel 7, you wouldn't have the news presenter go, "Oh, look, there's Earl from Texas watching us." We wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? So we are and the people talk to each other in the comments. And my shows are getting so boring; they often talk there more than actually listening to the show. So this is what we are. We're a community, and we think we can grow. But to grow, we need commerce, and to grow as a community, we need commerce. And we can't just sit here asking for donations, which I can't ask for donations anyway, and I know you can't, Robin. And then the other thing too is if we get corporate sponsorship, like say Coca-Cola or Bunnings decided to advertise with this, which will never happen, but say they did, they're going to come in and go, "Robin, we love what you're doing, but we need you to stop. We just need you to tell us how great the government is, and then we'll give you lots of money." And so, yeah, the what the F boys. Can you imagine anybody advertising with the What the F boys, no matter how great they are? So they need. We need a funding model which is ground up, and that's what I want to do. And with the amount of lies, we live in the world of lies. Since I've been in hospital, it's Can you put that comment back, Kel? Just the last one. What's that? Anyway, just wait. Oh, there, guys. This is Adam Llewellyn, and you guys are resetting media as we know it. I think that's what we're doing. I think we're in uncharted territory, and no one knows how to fund it. So there's ways to fund it is subscriptions, ways to subscription to Substack, Patreon, Facebook. ways to fund it is merch. But the merch, we have, and interrupting whatever you want, Robin. I'm just practicing for the 40 hours. I'm going to see if I can go 40 hours now, just as sort of warm up. There's now what it is, we call it honeymoon. So we get a new product. Say we're selling this glass of water, and we'll have a honeymoon thing. Some people go, oh, I really want a glass of water, so we'll sell a few in a few days, and then it'll get less, and eventually no one buys it because there's a limited audience and nobody wants this stuff. And so what I've proposed is that we've set up this multifaceted shop now. There's stuff there from books, and there's more books coming on. There's music. George Kesik's album just went up today, the What the Fuck Boys merch. But there's also Blue Bee stuff, and we're going to get survival seeds, and we're going to get more and more and more and more stuff on there. And this is what I propose. So I'll bring it up here. And if you guys don't want to do this, just tell me. We're just trying to find a way to survive and grow and get stronger, so we can just get better at what we're doing. Now, what it is, oops, wrong one. Yes, let me, I can buy a new mouse. Here we go. So if you go to cafelockedout.com, I'll just bring it up. And I've been working on this with Kevin in New Zealand, who's an absolute godsend. So, yep. Here we go. So there it is. So this is a new site. There's the shop, Blue Bees, cultural literature. We want more literature. If you've written a book, why not reach out to us? Culture, music, and big news is I wrote a song. Here they are. There's my songs, culture albums, Emily James Trio, Matt Finlay. Others are coming on, including George. There's Margie's mugs, because Margie is in. So these ones are really cool. The stuff there. And then the What the F Boys. They've just come on board. I love that shot of those. Look at those. And so they're coming on. They've got T-shirts. They've got more stuff coming on there. But it's going to be more than that. You know, here's Anthony. And Anthony can actually make stuff to order. So he's the one producing these caps. And if you have a cap, Anthony can actually make it. This one's getting a lot of controversy. And but we want more and more stuff on there from our community. And so this is the thing. So if you keep going down to the bottom, scroll all the way down, there, affiliate sign up. And so there you go. And you do it. I think you have to have PayPal. So it's done now. Account password. And we'll get into this now about how to do an affiliate. And what we're saying is that if you guys want to make some money for Christmas, we're kettled by algorithms. So you know that. If you watch Guru's show, Hoodie's show, it's the same people go to all the shows. So we were going to have affiliates each for ourselves, but we're selling to the same people. We need to break out and bring more people in so people can find out about our community. And so I think the thing is to do like a win-win situation. So that last comment just before Ron, so say Ron here. Oh yeah, cool, man. Yep. It's on the website under cultural literature. So say Ronnie, I'm going to use you, Ron. And actually I'll use you twice. Can you just grab that t-shirt of Ron's? Ron makes the best 832 t-shirts in Australia. I'm going to show it now. It's actually my favorite 832 t-shirt. But say Ron makes something like this. We're just getting it here. So he makes the t-shirt. And maybe you're out there, you make t-shirts, you make something yourself, or you've written a book. Look at these. It's all flowers. Anyway, I love it. So Ron decides, okay, I can supply t-shirts for you. We can't hold the stock, but he gets it on there, and then we're selling Ron stuff. And we get a cut of it because we're putting it on the site. Ron gets the lion's share because he made it. And then if he's holding it, he can mail it off. But what we want is if you're out there, is say, here, I'll use Jennifer. I'm going to use you, Jennifer. Jennifer decides she wants to become an affiliate. So say she's read my book and likes my book or somebody's book, and she goes, oh, look, check out this. Actually, I've got it here. Hold on. Actually, I've got the better thing. Got one of my favorite couples. These guys. This is Sis and Rob. So they just sent me this. So they get up and go, we've bought the book. If you want to get the book, if you want to get it, we love it. They put a link below on that link. And if anyone uses that link to go buy the book, they get, we're thinking between 10 and 15. We're thinking to start 10%. And if you sell anything of that, you're selling a few, it'll go up like an incentive. And I know it sounds like we're just trying to grift here, but this is serious about making money. And so basically you get a percentage, but if they go use that link and go to the store and buy any other thing else, and there's stuff coming up, including wine, anything else, they get a percentage of that too. So Rob and Sis might actually make, I don't know, 50, 60, $100 just for one post. And it's helping us because they're reaching more people than we can reach. Suddenly they're reaching more people. Those people come into the website and our shows are on the front page. So not only the people looking at the shop and stuff there, but they're going, what are all these shows? So they're discovering us. So it's helping us break out of the algorithm cell, but it's incentivized to do it like this. And we don't want to sell lots of Temu shit or anything like that. We're really interested. I was talking to Adrian McRae from Port Hedland because he's really into the idea. And once, if it works with us, he wants to try and make it further so it could go Australia-wide. But it's stuff from our community, good quality stuff, books, music. Maybe someone makes jewelry. If anyone out there makes Blue Bee earrings or something like that. I have a book and a set of affirmation cards. I think Robin has. Yeah, Zusi, this is it. This is the stuff we're doing. And we're not saying that everything will sell, but this is stuff that we can. There you are. So this is the stuff you're talking about. So it's our community, an ecosystem for our community.
Yep.
That's Lynette, isn't it? She goes by Zusi.
Yeah, Dr. Lynette. They're all affirmation cards.
Yeah.
Words for Our Humanity by Dr. Lynette. Yeah, they're really nice, actually.
So, and the Blue Bee stuff. So the philosophy behind this is for us to basically promote the art and the work and the businesses of the people in our community, including services. So Luke in Gold Coast is a landscape gardener. He says 20 or 30% of his business comes from freedom people. So we don't know how to make the services an affiliate link yet. Maybe it's just an honor system. And Kaz, with her superannuation, take it and make it, where you do it yourself with self-governed, managed super. So, she would do that. And then she would give you, and that could be quite profitable. And then the other thing too, watch this. This is my favorite. And this is Chris and I have been working on this with Kelly. Let me find it. Where did I put it? Because here it is. So Be Free, as you know, is being the symbol that Melanie from Melissa Hogan from Port Macquarie brought it up. And now here, Be Free Shiraz. So this is going to go on bottles of wine. And this isn't the final one. We're just working on it, but it should be ready soon. So that's going to go on. And basically, the thing I like about the wine is you stick it on, you go to your family, maybe your family ostracized you, and you go, it's all good now. We're all the same now. And you stick that on the table like this. That's like you're sticking that on the table. And it's basically, we also think it could go into bottle shops and, independent bottle shops might take it. So it's starting to look, how do we get commerce? Because the more commerce we get, the stronger we get. This is why Kelly and I, all down the East Coast, have been telling people, has anyone thought of setting up Blue Bee op shops? You know, and stuff like this, that it's a just to ingratiate ourselves in society, and also to start creating work within us, because we've just been ideologically driven. Join us because we're ideologically right, but we can't feed you because we can't even feed ourselves. So we're trying to get around so it's the other way. So, and this is the philosophy of Karen. Could you send us a picture of that, please? That'd be great. This is a philosophy of the Jews, doing commerce amongst ourselves so we're stronger. And we might not be strong right now, but 30 years from now, probably when I'm well in the ground, maybe our community will actually have some real power, even lobbying power in these dark times, because we look after each other. We do business amongst each other. So if we can't unite ideologically, because some like this, some like that, maybe we can economically, and have that as a perch, that we just have a philosophy amongst our community. If there's someone in the area where you live, Robin, who's a carpenter, who's on our side, everyone uses him or her. And this is it. And we go outside the community. It's not going to happen now, but a slow philosophy of doing it, where it's seeing how we can all benefit, that we look after each other, and it just becomes a philosophy. And so that's what we're doing, because we want to be the growing community platform for this. If you've got something you want to sell to the world, if you've got an event coming on, or a march, or I saw a girl today who wants to do a new petition about late-term abortions. I'm thinking of reaching out to her. And this is what we do, stuff that we care about. Robin's brilliant at it with all her counsellors that she gets on, because a lot of these shows aren't going to get huge numbers. So we're not doing it thinking, oh, we can get big numbers for this. We do it because we actually think it's right. Because, Robin, can I ask you, is the only single reason you're doing this is because you're hoping, like, by tomorrow you're going to be a multimillionaire?
Yeah, that's funny.
That's
No, not at all. No, absolutely not. I'm very grateful for my supporters on Buy Me a Coffee, because without them I wouldn't be able to do this full time. But you know, I often wonder myself, because people ask me, how do you survive? And sometimes I think to myself, I don't know how I do, because you can guarantee it's below minimum wage, let me tell you that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But you know, the speaking to people like Karina Frew the other week, where she was talking about our perception, you know, I'm really talking about our personal growth. It is also about, and we finished the show, which I'd really like to talk more about with Karina, or, you know, another guest, is about community. So, you know, this is part of it as well, because you know, we can already see, I've seen someone's put up a screenshot of Marketplace that's on Facebook, you know, where you can go and people sell things on Facebook. It's called Marketplace. And they're already requiring people to either upload their data from government approved identification or take a photo of themselves. I mean, I don't use Marketplace, but for anybody that doesn't want to engage in that, but you like being able to see that, you know, in the next village across from you, someone's selling something, well, you're not going to be able to do that. So I guess, you know, another thing, I mean, somebody called it a collective. It kind of reminds me of a new marketplace, you know, that sort of stuff. And it benefits the people that are using it, I guess. And you know, if you've got something up there that you're selling, you know, and creating those new communities, I guess, because we're all sick and tired of, you know, people shopping at Coles and Woolies, and then, you know, all this sort of stuff. And then Facebook wants you now to prove who you are to use their marketplace and all this sort of stuff. I mean, you know, we don't know where it's going to end. I mean, who knows? But anyway, I think it's one of those things of creating community.
Mm.
And if the situation does, what do I say? If the situation becomes very
More
difficult,
grim.
the way we live in the future,
Yeah.
it's really important that we're prepared for that, right? So,
Mm.
it's one of those things where maybe it's not used so much in the beginning, but I would suggest it's probably going to be very useful at some point in time. And that's not
Mm.
being negative or pessimistic. I just look around and think, holy moly, look at what's going on. But yeah, I don't know. It reminds me of community, marketplace. Like I said, someone said collective, all those sorts of things. So yeah, and a good opportunity like Dr. Linnett. She's got her own products.
Thanks, Laura.
And
This is what we're talking about. So, because there's a lot of people out there who are really struggling, and so we're not going to be able to pay their mortgage or their rent, but we might be able to bring in. If you're sitting at home now, even watching this, even if you shared the show, hey, share the show, and also check them out here, and it's just so it's basically just the beginning. The thing is, we've got to decide why we're here. Are we here that we got to hear, and now we're just going to sit here and point out what they're doing wrong, and just wait here until we all become economically destitute, or which is on the cards, or because it's going to get tougher economically, or do we start building the community now? Do we start now? Do we start planting the seeds now, even if we don't get to see the shade of the trees? Do we start doing it now? And that is, we start building commerce, a marketplace. We start getting some power behind us. And so they might call us cookers, but they actually deal with us because we help them make money too. It's because, like I said, we've got to stop thinking Trump or someone's going to come. No, it's us. So I actually believe not only were we blessed not to have fallen for the narrative, or for those who did a while and then they came back to us, this group of people who can basically see the emperor's naked. We are blessed to see that the emperor's naked, but it also means we have a responsibility to the generation after that, to strive for a better world that is more conducive to their souls. Because at the moment, I believe we're heading down, like that Imran Grant woman. We're heading down, and I don't want us to head down without a fight. And if Steve Adams watching here, but you can't fight forever on nothing. At some point, we have to get stronger. We have to get power behind us, even if we don't. Even if we just start the process, and then other businesses could come along. I know Drake's in South Australia. They didn't mandate their workers. They're like a Coles in South Australia, and South Australian people still love them because of it. So imagine if suddenly we're doing that as a community, we're growing, and we encourage entrepreneurism. We're basically, we're not worried about failure. We pick ourselves up because we have one goal. It's to save the world from darkness, which is, in this authoritarianism that's coming. And so to do that, any resistance group anywhere in the world has to be funded. So this is what we're putting everything against. And this fails, and we'll have to come up with something else. But this is what we're starting here. I would like it that Cafe Lockdown's making enough that suddenly Robin, g'day Sissy, Robin is not on basically half the wage of an Uber delivery driver, because chances are the Uber delivery driver is earning a lot more than Robin does, and she gives a lot more. She gives and gives and gives.
Should clarify that I am 100% independent, and I am funded by my crowd and my members on Buy Me a Coffee. not actually cafe locked out. So I want to make that
Oh
clear
no,
to
no,
the
no, no.
audience.
This is it. So we're a community that we
Yeah.
work together, but all of us
Yeah.
are independent within it. So
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
the stuff. So the What the F Boys, everything you buy on the site that's with the What the F Boys will go to them, except there's a small, I think it's 5 or 10% that comes to maintaining. So we put their stuff up, we handle the sales and stuff. So for them, there's a small cut goes to us, and then the rest goes to them. Except of course the affiliate, if it's sold by an affiliate sale, then some of that will go this. So the person that had the affiliate, they make a bit, the boys make a bit, and then Anthony Lake, who produces it, he makes it. So this is how the Jews do it. Everyone wins a little. And so Robin too. So if Robin comes on, because Robin's absolutely full time, if she puts her stuff on there, everything will go to her. And this is sort of how we're doing it. George is doing the same. We're putting George's stuff on the next few days because he comes on, he does a lot of great work, and then it's on there. And then there's a small percentage goes to us for managing it and putting it on, and the rest goes there. And so it's more about just that. It's to keep them independently done. Like Donna, Donna, I think if she gets some money, she would be doing a lot more shows. Same as Rohana does the show that she does. If she could somehow find a way, even to just make $100 a show, she would probably do 2 or 3 shows a week instead of just one. And this is what the audience has to decide. Do this thing, there's a great, but if they go, I'll just go back to watching MSN or these other podcasters, or at one point, do we actually go, we're not just entertainment, we're a part of a community, and how do we grow the community? How do we go from here and get serious and start going here? And then in 20, 30 years, who knows where the community will be by then? This is, so that's what I'm talking about here, and that's the same. That's the same for anyone else who brings stuff in. So Robin would have a link. So she puts the link on her show. So anything she goes in, anything anyone buys, I think my book has gone on for sale. So I think there's $10 to any affiliate, I think, or something. We'd have to look, and it'll be a work in progress because basically Kevin is 71. He's working in New Zealand. We're talking all the time. We're making it as we go. But that's the whole purpose behind it. And I think the best way to grow a community is not when just one person wins, but it's when everyone's winning a little bit. And together we grow and part. So we're looking, because the other thing too, if people want to buy something from us, they're not just buying the fact that, I've got this product. They're buying the fact that I'm helping support it. That the supply chain really to helping us grow. And if you don't like what we're doing, well, just don't buy anything and just don't help. Just watch and whatever. But this is what we're looking for: people who want to work together to see us grow as a community and become. I don't mean power as in power, but become a force to be reckoned with. Because,
I mean, that's why somebody said it earlier in the comments. That's why, another one of the reasons why they want to move young people away from the internet is because they're watching. I mean, I'm sure they're not watching me,
right,
but
Steve.
they're watching the new media, the truth or another perspective, or not the government narrative. And, that's very dangerous. Information is very dangerous, particularly to the youth. So that's why it's not even nudging, they're moving young people back to the TV, if you like, because it's a government narrative. And it's the same thing here, people. We're creatures of habit, and our habit is just to go, okay, I can get online here from wherever it might be that you order things online or whatever it might be, and it's just easier that way. And I guess we've got to kind of force ourselves to do the things that the disgusting evil creatures don't want us to do, and that's build the community and also start making those new habits of, okay, I'm not going to go and visit the multinational company online just because they send it to me with free postage, and start making those communities, I guess, and then again, someone was asking what, I think it was Nettie. So this is Dr. Linnett's book, The Psychic's Handbook, Identifying Trauma and Mental Health Issues. I mean, if there's
We
enough
can
people
definitely
with,
put that up for sale, in it. No worries at all.
yeah, you could have a, it's like a library. You create the different sections, all those sorts of things. So
banned books. These are the books the government
exactly.
doesn't want you to read. So this is creating our culture. That's why musicians who are writing about things that matter, this is what we tried to do with culture. And I know it failed, but we can't let failure stop us.
No.
If it failed, or why did it fail? I think culture failed because we were trying to do too much too quickly. A show every week with new songs every week. It was too much.
Yeah.
Big news for me today is Emily James is doing a cover version of the song about the country farmer. It's so exciting. You know what I mean? Kelly Wordsworth is getting back with her song. So it's a thing of thinking visionary long term, creating culture, a culture that will grow. So Richard told me that he sells books every week at a market, and he's doing really well because he sells unusual books, sort of slightly banned books, and people love them because people realize that their culture has been sanitized. And so they're looking for anything that isn't. So, these are more, we've got more ideas coming through, but this is it. And it's not just for us. We're just doing a test for Christmas and maybe just after Christmas, because that's when it's very, it's very hard to survive. But if it works, then we want to branch out to offering the same thing to other podcasters and other people in the movement who are doing things, who need some form of income. So there's this growing marketplace, like this. And it's not just to make one of us a millionaire, because that's not going to change anything. So Australia's got one more millionaire, big deal. It's to actually give us all some pride in ourselves, because at the moment, let's be honest, with this sovereign citizen stuff they're doing in WA, and we're heading to WA in a bus that looks like it's one of the floats in the sovereign citizen parade. That's the truth. I can see us at the border going, and but where was I going with that? They're defining us now. They're defining us as sovereign citizens. People don't want to. They're trying to, but they're at it, which means instead of us whining about it, we have to define ourselves, which means we have to be seen. This is why I don't have any stickers here, but someone just said they got stickers there. A little sticker on your car. It's a little sticker to say I'm a blue bee, like a Christian symbol. And if you don't like the blue bee, or this, make your own blue bee, or approach us with some other idea. We want ideas, and we want entrepreneurs out there to me, because if we get an entrepreneur, say we got an entrepreneur that set up op shops, say they did, I don't have the capability to do that, and suddenly they're hiring people, and suddenly we've got a community that's hiring people, and Australia will know that. So they might be calling us sovereign citizens and going, well, they actually gave my son a job. This is what we got to do. If we're going to save Australia from decline, we have to be in the fight, and just going out marching and saying everything's wrong, listen to us, is not going to be enough. It's really important, but it won't be enough. It's time for us to get serious. And I am not a business person. Most of this I've just done by following instinct, but I am trying, making a bit of a fool of myself, but I am trying, because I want to see my community get to where it's meant to be, which is a beacon of hope for the whole country and even the world. I still remember the light from Epic that the whole of Australia saw. It's not just a blessing to be there. It's a responsibility to the kids and the next kids and those, because the kids that haven't even been thought of yet, their quality of their liberty will be decided on the decisions and actions that we do now. And the coming with digital ID, the coming and everything else, it's more than just how do I survive, how do this. We're very good at being united. We got to grow. So anyway, this is what we're trying. If it doesn't work, oh well, forgive me. But if it does work, then maybe we can start to grow and get really stronger. So I'll just say it again. And I'll Kevin's been working on it this afternoon to see. I'll share the
Mark,
screen.
is that the Mark that I've just received another email from? Just let me check. Anyway, if it is you, I am
going down the bottom. And so here, these are our shows. See, they come here. Trials and Tribulations, Beauty of the Freedom Movement. There's Bossy. That picture is so funny, man. Oh my God, that's like the troll's favorite picture. And this is Jess, the young poet. So then people can come down and see it and hear. And I think somewhere else there's all our anything that's going on the Rumble channels, but we'll also be getting Robin. I think Robin, do you have your own YouTube? So you have your own YouTube, don't you? So there'll be YouTube on here with Robin's show. So people can come and see what we're doing. Because when you actually go and look at the amount of work we've put out, actually a perfect one is this. Watch.
It is Mark. Yes, I'm going to email you back. I'm terribly sorry. I've been so busy. Yep. Sorry, Michael.
Get that apology in writing, Mark. Let's see. That's a joke, Mark.
Dear.
Okay, I'm going to show you this. This is okay. Going to show you this here. This is. I don't know if people realize this, but every time I see this, it astounds me. So I'll stop this screen for a sec. Share screen. StreamYard. Okay, so this is just 1 week. This is, look at this. All the shows we do. Hey, let's load some more. This is just September the 28th, just going down and down and down. You know, here we are, non-stop material going up. And it actually gets rid of it after 400 hours. And so there's just tons and tons and tons and tons. There's Mark Batts, there's all of them, tons and tons and tons of stuff there. And so we're actually putting out a huge amount of content, but we're heavily censored. People haven't heard of us because they don't know. The other thing we're trying to do is get an ad to show that. So it's not like none of these people work for me. I just said, look, here's the platform. I've got it to here. Why don't you benefit from? Because George benefits. He comes on Friday and he benefits from the audience. He gets a bigger audience through the Cafe Lockdown community, which helps him grow. And so, but he's not an employee of mine. We're just working together like a conglomerate, I think, or a cooperative, or like a kibbutz. And that's how it is. And we're trying to figure out ways to make that financial within it. Yeah. Anyway, that's the rant tonight, guys. I know we're doing things about I'll see if I have I've never seen the Roller Girl since Epic. I've never seen her. I don't know what her name is. I'd love to have a chat to her. She's amazing. Yeah, Jason Alburn's on there, man. He's a part of Cafe Lockdown, in case you didn't know. He's a part of our community. So he'll definitely be on. And Wade, Wade, he gets down on his knees and tells us he's an asshole. Maybe you'll come on. So anyway, this is where we are, and this is what we're trying to do because, that's my rant of it. Now, is there any? I'll just go down. Is there any questions? Any questions from you, Robin?
I've seen a few times people asking how we can keep in touch, what's going to happen, blah, 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 blah. It's still a bit of a mystery. We do know that using another browser to get away from Google, I mean, you can use Brave. There's all other ones that you can use. We assume you won't have to identify yourself. I mean, the problem is with streaming, we don't know because StreamYard is very finicky. It likes Google Chrome to do all the streaming. So we're basically just going to have to take steps and make our own little battle plans about how we keep in contact, if we want to keep in contact, you know. I know Wayne and Tom and PJ have been talking about it, you know, how much are they going to comply? Is it important, you know, all that to stay in contact, all this sort of stuff. So I guess, you know, just making your own battle plans. But because we don't know, I mean, using another browser, we don't know if we'll be able to stream. We're basically just going to be seeing how we go when it happens, you know.
It's their
And
move.
yeah,
It's
so
their
I mean,
move.
I'm making some plans to make sure that I can still be in contact with the people that support me. I won't announce what that is at the moment. You know, the least that these slimy, disgusting creatures know what I'm doing, the better. So if I need to put those plans into action, then I'll let everybody know. But you know, just like Michael and everybody else that's online, you know, making your own plans to make sure you do continue to be able to maintain whatever level of contact you want with people, with, you know, whatever platforms it might be that you utilize, so on and so forth. So, but it's really a lack of information. Just means that you've got to figure out how you're going to stay in contact and how much contact you want, you know.
Yeah,
But
this
use
is a
another
really
browser,
a really
people.
big challenge. But it really proves to me that they're determined to get us to a social credit score system. And if you don't think they're doing that, you are bonkers.
Yep.
You are bonkers.
Yep.
And why you would trust them? That's why I put up the thing of us being shot at the shrine. You know, you're saying you're giving more of your data and these people more control over your life, who shut you down for a year, basically, you know, 9 lockdowns, and shot you if you didn't comply, and fined you if you didn't wear a mask. And you're giving these people more control. So the reason I find it hard to do anything about it is I don't understand. I don't know if there's any words in the English language that is going to get these people to stand up. I just don't think there is the word. So it's hard to do anything. It's not like they don't know. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's frustrating. So we're just going to have to see how we go. And maybe we don't. Maybe,
I mean,
I don't
Michael, you're
know.
just saying that nobody's coming to save us. If you haven't figured it out yet, there's literally no one coming to save you. And so you need to figure stuff out for yourself.
And
sorry.
it's more than that. It's not that no one's coming to save you. You've got a responsibility to the next generation, the generation after that. You were born into the freedom that, you know, you were born in the shadows of the shrine. You have a responsibility to the liberty you were naturally given, that we're being given away. Not you people here, but this is what we have. We have a responsibility to those coming that is more important than our lives. That's what I really believe. But we're not going to do it by just getting on and complaining. We have to actually do stuff. And so this is what we're thinking about. You know what I mean? And what that means, and this is what I love about our movement. I've seen all these people do common law, taking people to court, doing the councils. I don't put any of it down, doing the things, because everyone's trying. Like trying, didn't work. Oh, well. Didn't work. Oh, well. That's why I don't know. Monday, I think might get Michael Ginsberg on there to do a follow-up on what you did, because I want to have a communication with him. Go, okay, what can we do? Let's talk about it. How can we go from here to grow? Because imagine if we had now the numbers of Epic, where we had 1 million people every night coming together, or every few nights coming together, talking and planning and stuff. We would be an unstoppable force. So we've already got the recruits, but they've sort of vanished. Well, now it's time to get them to stand up. And basically, it all comes down to one thing. There's less and less people want to talk now. Rosemary Marshall said this to me the other day. She's finding it harder. People just are too scared to speak now. And what was the start? What was the thing that inspired you to call your show "Courage is the Cure"? As one of the initial things I did in one of my first marches in a speech. Fear is the virus, and courage is the cure. It's still the same. I'm putting that when I sign books. I put that in some of the books. That's where it is. That's where it is. And if you're feeling disillusioned, you're feeling this, well, tough luck. Do you think the people in the past who had to fight for freedom gave up when they felt disillusioned? No white hats. No white hats, Rob. So unless we're the white hats. I don't have a white hat. Have a BHAT.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I've got a red.
I've just been ranting on, but this is what I think as we go now. It's I'm not a believer in politics. I think the politics are gone. I'm not a believer in the courts. But I am a believer in us. I do think that
we can't lose.
Once we get our fire stoked up, we're it, guys. And so this is what we're doing. So we're asking you to help us grow this, because I think there's a lot of people out there who don't know we exist and would like to know we exist. They'd like to come up and be a part, like everybody here chatting now. This is something beautiful to offer to people. Come and join our community, because in our community, you can be yourself, you can talk freely, and you can talk about things that matter. You can be a part of the group that's trying to be the Australian version of the Army of Light, because darkness is everywhere at the moment. I'm sorry, it is. And so that's it. Pitch over.
Fantastic.
So, thanks for coming on, babe. Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
And any questions, put them in a cafelocked@gmail.com. Give us your questions. If you have any better ideas, give us your ideas, guys. Ideas could change the world. Look what happened with Forest of the Fallen. You know, Selkie had one idea, and look what she's done with it. You know, Ariane came up with 832. You know, for a long time, that was doing really well. Melissa Hogan, the Blue Bee could, you know, could be really significant. And there's other ideas like that. My Place was a brilliant idea that's still growing. You know, these are the Light newspaper. We're very good at seeing ideas through and making things happen. There it is. Oh, do you want to pitch that, the new one? I see. Is that David on the front?
Issue 20 is out. Yeah, it's an article by David Thrussell, The Golden Age of Caligula. That is the famous image of Caligula, but Epstein's face is imposed on that there. It's a great read, and go along to thelightaustralia.com and you can order physical copies and also read back issues online there. So that's great.
And Bazzino, can you send your songs through me to cafelocked@gmail.com and your contact details, and let's talk, because yours the stuff that we want to get on. You're creating, because to me now, we've got to stop playing the songs of people that don't even like us. We've got to create our own culture, because if we have our own art, our own music, our own literature, our own conversation items, even our own clothes, people will see it and want to join us. We might not be there. That's right. Courage is the cure. They'll want to join us. And we've got to experiment to this, you know, I'm going to walk around with that on my head like that. There it is. Just like that, you know, and our own ethics even, you know, this is the stuff that we've got to do. We can't do it all in one day, but this is what we build. We build something that's worthy of the future. And that's what I think we have to do. Okay, that's it, guys. Sorry, g'day, Sissy. I'll be seeing you soon, Sissy. We'll be leaving Sydney probably next week, and stuff like that. Oh, and anybody, we are thinking, would Aya? Yeah, she might. We reach out to her. She might come on. We'll put it out to everybody. It's 40 hours. We got a lot of space to fill, so I'll keep us posting about that. I'm selling your ass, Martin. Your ass is number one item on the thing. Martin's ass. Well, he's losing a lot of weight. He's looking really good. I think we can sell him. Anyway, that's the carnivore guy. Anyway, cool, guys. Cool. Okay, the Be Free didn't work when we started, so I'll try it again. And like I said, any questions, any ideas, let's do it, and let's really start to grow and be a movement to be reckoned with. It's time to it's not most of us are doing it, but it's time to shrug off the disillusionment, and it's time to get back to the doing shit. Okay, see you, Rob. Bye. See you, guys.
Historically, we are the debris, forgotten faces, never more to be. Instead of legends fighting for something that had no guarantees. Living ghosts, we chose to live and die as their worker bees. Why didn't we break out from their hide? Why didn't we follow our own sun to another life? Why didn't we scroll over all their flowers? Brothers and sisters, it's okay to be brothers and sisters.